Hello. So I'm back from work. Unfortunately, I missed Gman's flood show. Uh, like I said, Gman, I was on a handyman job. You yourself are a handyman. Um, I thought maybe you'd be interested in hearing this. I had to hang a couple of pictures, moved a couple of boxes down to their storage, did a little organizing, took some measurements for a room divider they want to put in the living room for like when they have guests come over. $180, 4 hours of work. I know that's cheap, but they're good customers, and I really didn't have to do anything that difficult. I saw the tail end of G-Man's show. I tuned in when I got in my car. I swear to God, the first thing I heard, tuned in on my phone, first thing I heard was Shanny for Christ saying, I bent over. Some guy was looking at my ass. I turned around and started preaching the word, and I was like, I'm done. I can wait till I get home. So I'm home. And I just kind of did a quick little skimming through. G-Man had one guest on. I am going at this blind. G-Man didn't. I saw that guy was talking about mountains, and G-Man started being mean. I'm just gonna skip around blind and see what happens.
I'm going to listen to Aaron Raw here for a moment. Now, I actually had the privilege to actually talk to Aaron about this topic, although I've never financed.
Skip. Delay.
Actually pointing all that out, believing he's achieving something.
Skip.
All right, bye.
Whoa. Yikes.
I'm not worried about that.
Skip.
Float over the Himalayas.
Look at that white boy. I did hear a little bit of this part, J-Man, how you wouldn't let this guy get past, like, that we don't know how high the mountains were or whatever. And the conversation pretty much just died there. Okay, let me address this flooding part, okay? Forget, G-Man, forget about all the mountains, okay? For the sake of argument, let's say every mountain on planet Earth right now, cut it in half, okay? Boom. I think that's fair enough, all right? So, planet Earth was flooded, all right? Now, G-Man, you have said in the past that you take pride in explaining things in a way that even a child can explain. So do I. So let me explain this in a way that even a child can understand, G-Man. Even with all the mountains cut in half, to flood planet Earth, you are talking about a massive amount of water. Now, when you look at planet Earth right now, G-Man, you see most of the planet covered in water. To us, that is a lot of water. To planet Earth, that is very little water. Okay, to planet Earth, that is a little bit of water. So you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Again, G-Man, I'm not doing this like because I think you're stupid. No, I'm just explaining this in case there are children watching. Let's say you, G-Man, are planet Earth. and you jump into a pool, and then you get out of the pool. The water that is still on your body when you get out of the pool, that is how much water is on planet Earth. Okay? So it's actually very little water. Now, to flood the entire planet, to even cover the mountains, which we have already cut in half, okay? You were talking about a massive amount of water, G-Man. You got to remember how big, I mean, just to add an inch of water around the planet, you are talking a massive amount of water. So to cover the planet, where did this water come from? The water had to come from somewhere, G-Man. I heard you mention something about the water shooting up from inside the earth. Okay, fine. If that were to happen, okay, and enough water shot up from inside the earth to cover the surface of the earth, that means there is going to be a massive empty cavity in planet Earth where that water once was. And a G-Man, the crust of the Earth is going to cave in, and that will destroy planet Earth. I think. Maybe. I'm guessing, okay? I'm guessing, G-Man. Give me a break. I'm guessing, okay? So, there's that. Maybe I should listen to some more of the crap going on here. Because I wanted to mention about how what disproves the flood happening, G-Man, all aquatic life and plant life would be dead if the flood happened, just so you know. Oh, and you mentioned something about a barge. G-Man, first of all, you're the only one that talks about the ark as being a barge. Okay, a barge is basically a floating platform. And you always talk about stuff on the ark being stacked. A barge is, by its very design, a barge is very unstable because there's no bottom to it, right? And if you start stacking stuff, it's going to be top heavy. That is why barges are only used in lakes or rivers, sometimes in the ocean, but very sparingly and very close to the shore, because the waves will topple a barge over, especially when it's top heavy. Okay, so that's impossible. Let's see what this handsome white boy is talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So,
How big was the Himalayas?
I've already lost interest. Skip.
I found it in like 2 seconds looking it up on Google. You should go look it up.
G-Man being a douchebag. Skip.
claim in the Bible, and I'll
Skip.
Because I know a lot of these.
Wow.
I'm not being disrespectful, man.
All right, I don't want to watch anymore. So let me just address this part then, G-Man. Let me give you reasons of why the flood never happened. And these are things that I've never heard you address. You kind of did something with that mountain thing. Let me talk about aquatic life and plant life, G-Man. Aquatic life, you have two forms. You have saltwater life and freshwater life. You stick a saltwater animal in freshwater, you're going to kill it. You stick a freshwater animal in saltwater, you're going to kill it. you try to somehow come up with the perfect ratio of salt versus fresh, so that everyone can be happy, you're going to kill everything, G-Man. You're going to kill everything. And G-Man, when I say everything, I am talking about aquatic life, okay? Not literally everything, but things that live in the water. You're going to kill that stuff because you don't understand figurative language. Here's another one, G-Man. Plant life. The earth was flooded, and if my memory is correct, the earth stayed flooded for a year. 1 year. 365 days or something. I don't know. G-Man, you stick plants, unless it's something that's made to be in water, you submerge a plant in water, you're going to do one thing. You're going to kill it, okay? Take a rose bush and dunk the whole thing in a bucket of water and leave it and see what happens. You're going to kill it, okay? So the fact that plants exist, the fact that aquatic life exists, is proof the flood didn't happen. Checkmate. That is 4 times I beat you. A stupid Puerto Rican from California beat a stupid black man from New Jersey. G-Man, please move from New Jersey. Stupid Puerto Rican from California beat a stupid black guy that lives somewhere close to New York City. GTV.